Joel was a wonderful young man. He had all sorts of potential, and he was growing in recent years by leaps and bounds, emotionally and intellectually, in terms of taking responsibility and doing new things.
Joel was extremely earnest, had a great sense of humor. The rabbi at his funeral pointed out that if he wanted to be your friend, there was no question but that he was your friend. You didn't have a choice.
Didn't have to know him for a long time to know what Joel was like. I mean, he was just the freest kind of soul you would want.
A misunderstood young man who had challenges that a lot of people couldn't imagine and managed to handle them, for the most part, like a true champion. He was the type of person who would happily talk to a stranger, help out someone on the street.
Joel had Asperger's syndrome. Asperger's syndrome is on the autistic spectrum. In fact, everybody in the world is on the autistic spectrum. It's just some people are a little closer to one end than the other.
He was also a very friendly kid, and he couldn't sometimes understand, because of his disability, why being friendly wasn't enough. When he was very young, he used to watch Jeopardy, and he would often guess the answers long before I did, or Julie did, or the contestants did. And there was clearly something going on with him, that he was attentive and he was sharp.
His dream was to live in a small town, to have a dog, to have a job working for a transportation company because he loved transportation and communication. And in the piece that he wrote about where he would be 20 years from now, when he was then 17, he would have a front porch and a kitchen, and he would have a lot of friends. When you lose a child, it's a great sadness. We don't want to focus on the sadness. What's very important to us is that something good comes of this. And nothing better could come of this than other people having the same experience that Joel had.
Joel was embraced by the trip the moment that he came to the first orientation session in Toronto to getting right into the mix once you got to Israel.
When you're in a little older crowd and you don't know too many people, it's sort of hard to create that icebreaker. And he was definitely our icebreaker.
I know that he was having the time of his life when he was on the trip, and he really made my experience and the experiences that all of my friends from the trip had more worthwhile and more enjoyable.
Birthright Israel made these lifetime opportunities and experiences that much more profound for him because he was able to share them with other people.
The creation of the Joel Schwartz Memorial Hockey Tournament means a lot to Reena. It provides funding to ensure the opportunity will be there for Reena clients to participate in the Birthright Israel program.
Joel used to love coming to Jonathan's hockey games. He used to love it. Not so much for the hockey, but because it meant he got hot chocolate and popcorn.
Just seeing how Joel was able to go on Birthright with the Shadow and enjoy this entire trip just as anyone else would, it's an opportunity for us to share that with other people and have kids go on this trip every single year.
I'm so happy to be able to be involved in sending more people like her and more people like Joel on this trip.
Joel would be completely amazed that this was happening in his honor. I know in his own way he would appreciate it tremendously, and then he would say to me, "Can I have my hot chocolate now?"